Alright guys, so this is my presentation on my RSA skill. I actually had two of them. I started out with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and due to time constraints, or time budgeting I guess, I moved into a different skill, which is actually to kind of master this certain song that I really want to play at my wedding, which is going to be in the next 2 years. It's a song that's very special to me and my fiance, so I'd really kind of want to try to surprise her with that. The only thing I was able to actually reach the tangible goal of was the portfolio, which is what I was hoping to reach with the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But I'll get into everything because everything kind of needs a little bit of explaining. So my initial strategy was to pick something that would be beneficial to me in a number of ways. What I mean by that, other than just making myself my own portfolio, is to be able to better communicate with web designers, anything like that, since I'm hoping to become a producer or manager in more of the entertainment space, specifically games. My whole thought process was to basically utilize that skill, something that I'd be utilizing for a while. The planning steps was basically just budgeting my time, figuring out ways to learn about these subjects, so on and so forth. However, what happened was I ended up getting extremely busy to the point where I wasn't able to actually have time for this on the weekends. Working all week. On the weekends, I'm essentially doing more work. So I ended up finding something that I was able to do on my way to and from work, which was actually the mastery of this specific song. My execution was basically sitting down and sitting on Code Academy, learning about these different coding languages. Great site, by the way, if you guys are looking to learn any sort of coding languages. Awesome site to find tutorials on. And then I jumped into the song afterwards, since it fit in my schedule. What went right was the fact that I was able to see a problem and then adapt to it and change it and try to rectify it a little bit. Where it worked out well was the fact that I was able to still achieve the thing I really wanted to, which was a portfolio at the end. The aspects that failed, certainly not foreseeing how busy I was going to end up being. I mean, obviously that's kind of hard to figure out, but since I was so free, I guess, in terms of time in the beginning, I just kind of did the RSA HTML thing whenever I wanted on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But then it ended up just get jumbled in terms of with everything else that I had to do, and then it just kind of fell at the wayside. Yeah, I mean, what I would change would just be figuring out a really set schedule, even with being so busy. The biggest takeaway was honestly the portfolio, but also figuring out the fact that planning and realistic goals is number one to make the RSA actually work. So at the last 2 minutes, I'll actually show you guys what I managed to achieve, and that is this. This didn't actually take any programming. This was simply using a website and then sizing everything, putting everything together in terms of where it should fit on the page, setting up the web page itself, everything like that. So right here, it kind of shows off a little intro to what I've worked on, whether it's professional or at UAT. All of these take you to the specific web page where I kind of talk about them in detail. This shows off a little gallery of Soul Tech, which I worked on at UAT, Booty Bandits, and then a level I made in UDK. All of them have a little blurb. If you scroll over them, you can even click on them, which expands the picture, and then you can scroll through them that way. These have some videos that shows off those 3 different things. Then this is something that I designed for another class called Battles of Air. It's a paper prototype turn-based game. I have little downloads that people can follow them with. It's something that they're interested in. This has more of my professional page in terms of a blurb, picture of me, the awards I've gotten at UAT, and then 3 different games that I'm credited in. All of except for this one, you can just click on the links and it takes you to the web page. And then finally, my resume. So I think overall, I mean, this alone, this was totally worth it, even though it technically wasn't used in the or wasn't created in the manner I was supposed to create it. Still got created, which I mean is a win in my book. So yeah, that's my presentation. Thanks.